This video will step you through importing your research outputs into your profile in the Australian Research Council's Research Management System, or RMS. For STEM disciplines, your research outputs are likely to be well covered by Scopus. You can download a bibtex file from there, then import the bibtex file into RMS. Alternatively, you can export the bibtex file into ORCID, then connect your ORCID ID with the RMS. The benefit of this would be that your ORCID profile would then be current as well. To start, log into Scopus using your UniKey. You can reach Scopus from the University Library's website under Databases. Look for your own author profile using your ORCID or your surname and first name. Your Scopus author profile should look something like this. You should see a list of your research outputs. Missing publications from your main Scopus profile may mean you have more than one. If you have multiple author profiles, you will need to merge them. Check the list of research outputs. If it is incomplete, you will need to add missing outputs using the Add by DOI or Add Manually options within RMS. Now click on Export All above the output list. Once you click on this drop-down menu, you will see a list of options. Choose bibtex and select Citation Information and Bibliographical Information to make sure the required fields are exported to RMS. Then simply click on the Export button, which prompts you to download your bibtex document. Once you open your downloaded file, you will be able to see bibtex tags and bibliometric details for all your outputs. If you need to make any changes to your references, this is where you need to make those changes. For some disciplines, there may be a need to use further markup like superscripts and subscripts to preserve meaning for symbols in the titles of research outputs. Using LaTeX for simple superscript and subscript markup is relatively easy. The underscore is used to indicate subscript, so that the 2 sits below. And although you wouldn't use superscript here, for the sake of the example, the caret is used to specify superscript, so it appears above the line. To render the superscript and subscripts, the text containing them needs to be in math mode. This is achieved by wrapping the text in $signs. If a symbol must be typeset upright rather than in italics, as is the convention for chemical symbols, then the symbol can be wrapped as per the syntax shown. Here is another more complicated example, specifying both superscript and subscript. And this is what it looks like in the rendered PDF. The next step is to import the bibtex file into the RMS. Go to the ARC website and click on the RMS login. First-time users will need to register for an account. For those who already have an ARC account, log in with your email address and password. This is called your Action Center, and down the bottom of the page, you can find the link to research outputs. You can see there are different ways to add outputs into the RMS. We're going to select Import bibtex. Now we simply choose a file by clicking on Choose File and selecting the bibtex file I exported from Scopus previously. Click Import and OK. Now it tells us we have successfully imported these research outputs and shows details for each. Click on Close or Manage Research Outputs and you'll be taken back to your research output page. Now you can check whether these outputs formatted correctly. If you want to double check how these will appear on your application, simply select the items you want to check and click on Preview Citations in PDF. Always check the Research Outputs PDF in the RMS. References can appear differently in the RMS interface than in the PDF view. Back on the main screen, if you click on the Details button, you can change the category that the output is in. But you can't make any changes to the reference itself. If you want to make changes to a reference, you will have to delete the reference in the RMS, and then import it through another method such as add by DOI, or ORCID, or add manually. If you click Add Manually, you will see you have the option to enter the key details of your research output yourself. If you want to add patents, for example, select Additional Research Output from the Type menu and use the Media field to include the patent type and number. This should then appear in your list of research outputs. When this is rendered in the output PDF, it should look something like this. Hopefully, you'll now be able to populate the ARC's RMS with your research outputs. If you have any questions about any of these processes, please feel free to contact your Research Support Officer or Academic Liaison Librarian.